Hello everyone, this is Josh Play Place, and today we continue to grow and expand our city of New Austin in this vanilla city playthrough of Cities Skylines. Let's begin. In our last episode, we were able to create this really cool university district. We built a university, which is the Modern Technology Institute, with a capacity of 4,000 students. Right now it's at 10% more or less. We added some office space here and some high density commercial district here. We used the modern city center and I think it looks really nice, especially because I wanted for this to be like a hub where people would get here on the train and from the train. And that's how it's gonna be, hopefully pretty soon. We're very close to getting to small city, and when we reach small city we should be able to open the tap for trains. I think that's very exciting. It's also gonna open the ability for some other forms of public transportation, but I think that for this episode 6 we should focus on public transportation. The first thing that I'm gonna do is build the biofuel bus depot. I like to build this first because it's the one that has the biofuel buses, which should pollute a little bit less, and that way things are a little bit better. So I'm gonna just plop it down here, and let's draw our first line. And it depends what you want to do with lines. I like to just space them out like this. Sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't, but overall I think this is a way that I've been able to have things work properly. And I think this should be here and here. Since we only have the biofuel bus depot, these are going to be biofuel buses, which I think is a great thing. And let's change the color this to red. This one is going to have 7 buses. I think we should be fine for now. The next line, and I think is going to be the most important, at least for right now, it's going to be this next line, which will start here for whenever we are able to build the train station. Another stop here. Again, I like to space them accordingly. That way things work better. And we're gonna put it here and here. This one is gonna have 8 buses, and we're gonna change the color to blue. Let's just close this really quick so that we're not bothered all the time. Okay, so that's done. So now we have 2 different lines that they actually intersect here. I think the next thing that we might want to do is to plop down a intercity bus station, which will allow people from other cities to get here. There's an issue with trash. I hadn't anticipated that. So again, for right now, let's just we have money to put the incineration plant, and that has a process rate of 48,000. We can plop down 2 of those, maybe 3, and run them. And let's see, we're barely making it, and I think I'm only gonna get maybe, let's see, okay, as we can see, we have the processing capacity of 216,000 units as opposed to our production of under 193,000. So we're fine for now. um, we are gonna either have to plop some more recycling centers or some more incineration plants. But that's also part of this thing, which we're gonna be fine in terms of electricity availability for a while. We're gonna be fine for water, and we might think of just plopping a new one, and I think we can do that right now. That way we increase the processing higher. And I'm only gonna do the emptying of one, maybe not this one, I'm gonna do this one, at least for right now. We are seeing some issues in terms of traffic here, but we are fine for now. But we are gonna have to deal with this in a little bit, because I am gonna put another line that's gonna go to this side and all the way here. That way the people that have to work on this side are able to get there with buses. And in here I do like to do longer trips in between, so I think this should be fine. Here, here, and here. We might want to add another one, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine for right now. I think this one's gonna have a lot of, 7. I thought it was gonna be a little more. And we're gonna make it a green line. I think that's gonna look fine for now. And right now we are gonna have a good amount of coverage for public transportation. I see there's some issues with dead people. Let's see what we can do for that. We cannot place a crematorium yet, and the cemetery usage is fine for now. We might want to add another one, and I'm gonna plop it here just in case. And I did forget to do what we try to do every single time we start or we open a city, which is check on the electricity, which we had already, but still garbage. In terms of education, we're doing great. Now there's more students in the college, and in terms of healthcare, everything should be fine. We might want to have another clinic here. That way everything is fine on this side, and we have more services available, and that way also land value is high. In terms of pollution, we are fine. Again, we stopped getting water from the river because it was polluted by the sewage, but otherwise we are fine on that matter. And I think we're gonna just leave them there. They're not wasting money, so we should be fine. So we do need a lot of residential zone, and I think we should be able to zone all of these as one huge big subdivision. I think that's going to be very, very helpful for the city. So let's start thinking how far it's going to go. And let me rezone this to this. Not rezone, but re-update. And I think for right now, I'm going to try to get it maybe here. That way we can add another off and on ramp into the expressway. Because again, we don't want this road to be extremely congested, even though we need to do something to connect all these and not just the expressway, because it's already a bit too busy. But let me continue with this road and we'll be right back. And well, I think we did a really good job building this exit ramp. In the very near future, we're gonna connect these frontage roads. Again, here in Texas, it's very common to have frontage roads by the expressways. I know I've seen, for example, in California where you don't have that. Uh, the exit to the road, that's the only thing that's by the expressway or the highway. And it's a little bit interesting because it's different. It's different from what we're used to. And so this is our biggest example of what a big new subdivision, new residential area can be. And again, I'm basing it on what I see from Texas cities to what I'm used to seeing, what I've used to live at. And that's something that you can try to do different. You don't have to do what I do because, of course, maybe you don't live in Texas, maybe you don't even live in the United States, and you're gonna build your city based on what you have available, what you see, what you live, and what you like. Maybe you don't like the way your city is laid, and so that's what you're gonna do next. Do something different, something that you're gonna like. And you can go to Google Maps and take a look at suburbs in Dallas or Houston where you can observe that the roads, the streets in the actual subdivisions are curved. So that's something that we might try to do here. It's somewhat difficult, even though I have the idea of what I want to do. It's kind of difficult to make it, to actually get it done, because sometimes you think you know how to do the streets, how to change them, how to curve them, and sometimes it doesn't go according to plan. But in here we're gonna try to see if we can make that happen. Again, curves are nice. Curves are a great thing whenever you're trying to make your city be different, be unique. And grids are fine too. And I think grids are gonna work even a little bit better in cities skylines too, because of the tools available to build roads. I think one of the issues that I have is that we cannot intersect a road like this and just build a road. And in City Skylines 2, it appears that that's going to be able to happen. We're going to be able to do that, and I think that's great, especially once you start growing the city, once you start saying, you know what, I need to demolish a certain area, I need to do this, I need to do that. So again, I think that's going to be very interesting to see how we are able to utilize that specific new tool. And it's very interesting to see how these curves are gonna leave you space to do something more. And basically this is what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna leave it like this, and I do like to add some more roads, like from here. Do the 8 squares wide, and I think that works really well. And also do the little cul-de-sacs like the one that I did here. I think that's also gonna work really nice. We're gonna do one here, and we're gonna do another one here. And I think that should be it for now. I am gonna take this off and maybe take this off. That way we can build something else here. And we're gonna put the entrance to this little subdivision here. I'm gonna put it here. Up. Again, we take off the lights. And now let's place the water pipes and we'll be back. So we are fine with water. Now I'm gonna place some of the walking paths in, and I think for right now here, and I'm gonna place the other entrance here, and this is gonna be like our phase 1 for this subdivision, which is basically only here, and we're gonna leave this open for later. I'm also forgetting to curve this, so let me do it right now really quick. Again, you know, it's just difficult to draw corners in cities skylines, especially because there's no zoning area for this. So I think that's going to work really well. Let me continue adding the walking paths. This one here. I'm gonna add just another one here so that people have access to this road, and just this one here and here for right now. I'm also gonna put the suburban fence, and again, you don't have to do this, you don't have to be this amount of detail, but there's more detailing you can do actually with your town and your suburbs, but that's gonna be for a later episode when we're able to, when we had grown our city and we don't have to worry about some other things. I am gonna put the little park that I always like to put here in the corner, and as you can see, this is gonna look really nice. We're really close to the agriculture area that I want to expand even more, and it's very close to the industrial area that we are also gonna grow a little bit more, at least here. And what I'm gonna do now is to upgrade the roads from the dirt roads into the bicycle path roads. Let me do that and I'll be back. See, it looks really nice, I think. You might be thinking, why do you lay down the roads with the dirt roads? Again, I found out that it's easier to deal with the dirt roads than with anything else, and that's why I do it. I mean, you don't have to do it, but at least it helps me with that. We are also gonna make this its own district, its own zone. We're not gonna make it any much different. We're not gonna add any other policies that we haven't or we don't already use on other districts. But I just wanna have a little bit of information regarding the actual zone, the actual district, and I think that's very helpful. For example, if you want to know the amount of people more or less that live there, how it's distributed, and as well as to know what the value of the area is. So again, you don't need to do it. I do it because it's a little bit more information that you get, and I do think it's helpful in a lot of instances. So let me pause the game so I can start zoning this. Again, we're gonna zone as much as we can, but also leaving some space for whatever else we need to do. And I might actually change this just a little bit. And again, don't leave things just like that. If you feel there should be something different, change things. Like you should be fine changing things. So don't feel weird if things don't look as you think they should. It's fine. It's fine to just let your streets, your zones be what they are, and change them if you don't like them. I mean, it's perfectly fine, perfectly normal. Things don't have to be the same for everything. And I think I'm just gonna put a little park here and another one here. And let's see how this little new subdivision develops. And well, we need to stop really quick, and let me pause the game just a little bit so we can see what we have now in our small city. You know, we're able to unlock some more stuff, especially the train station. So I think I forgot to do one thing here, which is connect the actual water pipes here, and I'm also going to do it here. Thankfully, this is not going to be an issue or a big issue in Cities Skylines 2. There should be enough electricity and water, so let us see how this grows a little bit more. The demand for residential went down a bit, but we need to provide electricity to these residences, and I think the easiest way and the fastest way is going to be to do this. And there you go. And now we can focus on doing two things, and the first one is going to be to kind of see if we can do our train station here. And in most cases, I do like to build the regular one, the one that comes with the vanilla game. I also have some that are from the content creator packs. One that I like is this one. I think it's actually pretty cool. This one is a little bit bigger, and this one looks really nice. And we also have some elevated ones that also work really well, and I don't see why we can't have one of these here. It actually wouldn't look that bad. I think it would look really nice, and I think we can put it here. And let's see how we are gonna be building this station. I think we can add it to this here. So let's pause the game because I think we're gonna mess up the power lines to these water towers. And let's see if we can do that. There. And we also have to connect it here. It might mess this up a little bit, but we'll fix it in a bit. It shouldn't be any issues. Again, this is something that happens with every little thing that you build in any city. Things are gonna have to be changed, things are gonna have to be moved, and you're gonna have to do it in order for your city to grow. And I think that's also a great thing to do. I don't like the way that this looks, and mainly because of the terrain here. Let me see if I think that looks very nice. And now we need to make sure to connect this walking path, and I think we're gonna do it from here. There you go. I think that's gonna work really well. Let's make sure that there's water and that there's electricity. There's electricity, there's water. And I love the look of this train station. It looks really nice. I love the way they did the parking lots here. The nice detail, the roofs, the restaurants that I'm sure are here. It looks just really nice. And now we have another way for people to get into the city. However, that's not gonna be the only one that we build, and we're gonna build one here. I think it might be a little bit problematic Well, no, we should be fine. But I think I'm gonna build it on this side. That way we have at least 2 train stations that are gonna get to the people here. So I'm gonna plot this here, and this one is gonna be a lot easier to add to. Let's make sure that there's water, and I'm gonna have to extend this water pipe. And also I'm gonna have to do some power lines, and I think it should be able to do it like this. I think it's also gonna look really cool. And let's draw just a little line that's gonna go, let's start from here, here, and back. And let's change the color to red. And I'm just gonna leave this as passenger train, but maybe with this side, I think I like that a little bit better. It's only gonna be one vehicle. And the other thing that we need to do is to add a walking path to get to the other side. So there you go. And I think that should be fine to get to this side. Again, it's not gonna be as used as maybe it should, but I think we're gonna be fine. And I'm also gonna add some parking lots here. I'm gonna add some low density commercial. And I'm gonna keep on doing the same thing here. I'm just gonna delete this power line. Hopefully, yeah, it's gonna give us trouble, so let me just put another line there. We already had this as a district, so I'm just gonna add more high density commercial and let it grow just little by little. So we are doing really well with money. We don't owe any loans. Our budgets are doing really well. Same thing with taxes, which we will increase for everything except residential. Residential I like to keep a little bit lower than the rest, and we still should be able to be making enough money. This Primrose Park looks like it's doing really well. Little by little, again, there's not that much demand for residential zone, but we are gonna add some more industrial zoning here, and we're gonna wait to see how that works out. I also want to expand our agriculture zone, our agriculture industry. So let me repeat what I did this year, and I'll be back. And I did change the crop for this area. Instead of being wheat, it's gonna be cotton. And now we have access to a large pasture and large crop fields, which we're not gonna deal with it right now, but we are placing down 2 of these animal pastures if we are able to, and I think we will. There you go. Making sure that it's the same Highland cows, which I think they're more like Longhorns, but we'll see. And we're really making a pretty good amount of money. Maybe not as much as we should, but I think we're doing well because we're still importing, which I don't understand why. Because we should have enough production. If not, we'll make this a little bit bigger, but we'll see. We'll wait. Let's wait until we have the need for it. And now that we're here, I think it looks really nice what we ended up with this last episode. I think this is growing also really nicely here, and this is growing really nicely here too. I'm first gonna add a post office because I think it's gonna be needed more than anything else. So we have that here. This is giving me a little bit of issues, so let me place down the road again. And yeah, it should be fine. So now we have a post office. Let's see if we need a school. We don't need a school yet, but I'm gonna put one here either way. And I think I'm gonna place down a soccer field here, just a regular soccer field here, and I think that's gonna help with the enjoyment of people too. And we can do this, and I think that's gonna work really nice. Let's add some trees like this, which are part of the new trees that we get, and that's gonna be a nice little park for people to walk through to school or to the soccer field. And what we're missing right now is more commercial, and I think we can add more commercial here. First, let's make sure that we take off the lights. Let's see, it's being used pretty much, a good amount of people are using it, even more than this. And let's see how our line is doing, which is what we're gonna do right now. Check on the lines for transportation. Let's take a look at this blue line. This blue line is being very busy. Its busiest spot is here in this corner, as I expected. This one is also being used a lot, and the green one also is being used a lot. So what I'm gonna do for the blue and green lines is that I'm gonna upgrade into the articulated biofuel buses, which have a capacity of 75 people. And also for the blue one. And for the red one, I'm gonna do the ones that have a capacity of 40, the biofuel buses with a capacity of 40. And we're gonna let that happen. We're also gonna check really quick for the electricity. We're fine with water, we're fine with garbage. And let's take a look at traffic. Traffic is getting a little bit heavy on this side, but it's fine for now. On these two roads too. And I think I'm gonna do two roundabouts like here in this area. So first of all, let me make sure that there's enough electricity going both ways. And let me work on this roundabout first, and we'll be back. So this roundabout is working really well, and we have a lot of fires here. Let's see what the issue is. There should be enough coverage for now, but I'm gonna add one more here. So I think this roundabout is gonna work really well, really nice. I think the only thing that I'm gonna do is to change this to 2 and 1. And let me work on this roundabout really quick. And things start looking really nice, at least with these two roundabouts. I mean, we might have to do something similar here. I don't think so. And it also depends what we're gonna do with this expressway and how we want to deal with it. That's gonna be something interesting to do. So like I told you, I was thinking on maybe adding a slaughterhouse here. I think we should have enough space because these slaughterhouses are huge. Yeah, I think we should be fine here. And let me just open up the zone a little bit more, the district. There we go. We're making more money, so that's good. We might add some more plantations, but I think we're fine for now. And I think, well, first of all, this landfill is empty, so we can destroy it. And I think we're gonna empty this one next. I think it's gonna be very helpful. And one of the things that we have neglected to kind of do is to put more statues, more of these buildings, these unique buildings. We have a lot of them to put up. And I think we can put a really nice one here. And I think that's going to be very helpful. And I think that should be it for now. I want to find a place to put the tax office, because the tax office I use like if it was a city hall. I do think that is very weird that we don't have a city hall here that's easy to access. I know the courthouse is different, but then you have to have a very high crime rate, which again doesn't make any sense. So I wish, I hope that there's something that's better in terms of having that here. And I think the only other thing that we can do is to put down some parking here. And that should be fine. Let's take a look to see how well the new buses are doing, and I think they're doing well. It's still a very used line. Same thing here. I think it's working really well. And the green line, yeah, same thing. It's working really well. It's still very used. So I'm gonna increase this to 150%, which should be 155, so it can be 11 buses. So we added 4 more buses. And in here, since we have a little bit of traffic here, a little bit more congestion in this line, I'm also gonna do 150, 155, same thing. With the blue one, I think the blue one is fine. It has it's doing what it's supposed to do, so I think that's gonna be great. The only other thing that I think we can do, and no, that's fine. We might have wanted to add another bus stop here, but I don't think that's needed. What I think I am gonna do is to expand this line to get here. That way, if there's people that live in this area, they can also take this red line. We can do it like this for now. Again, hopefully more people are gonna be wanting to move to this area. And we also need to start thinking as to where we are gonna put our first big park, our big zone area for park. So traffic is doing really nice. I'm happy to see that. Of course, there's some issues with the buses. The next thing that we're gonna do, if things continue being a little bit congested for buses, is to upgrade the roads to the 4-lane roads with bus lanes, especially on this side, because it's very busy. and that way the congestion doesn't affect things that much. But again, that's gonna be for later, not for right now. Also, we're gonna add some more commercial zones here, and we are gonna add a little park. I'm glad and I'm happy that people are using this train station, and I'm gonna have another exit ramp here. That way people can go either way and it's easier for them to walk and access it. This is last week it was used 174 or by 174 people, and this one by 132, so it's getting there. And our Modern Technology Institute is being used by less people, so we'll see what we can do for our next episode. But as of right now, we were able to accomplish two big things. The first one was to create a brand new subdivision, phase 1, as I like to say, to call it. And we also created our first line for train, and we have a really nice train station here, and we have another one of the vanilla ones here, and it's working well. People are using the trains to get into this city, so I'm happy about that. I think that on the next episode I'm gonna add a bus station here, an intercity bus station here. That way there's more access, or we can add it here. Also, for our next video, episode 7, I think I'm gonna make this a tourist zone. I think we're gonna zone this to have tourism specialization, and we are gonna have to put some of the leisure specialization somewhere here. I think we might be able to do something very interesting in this area, plop down some unique buildings, and even though we zone it for the agriculture, I think we are able to have more agriculture on this side, and even on this side. I think it's gonna be a good thing. So once again, I'm glad that we were able to create this really nice area, and the fact that we're making good money, our population is increasing, and it's looking really nice. What do you think? So we're gonna finish this episode 6 right here. I do want to thank you for watching this video, liking, commenting, and subscribing to Josh X Play Plays. It helps a lot. Until next episode, thank you.